In this episode we play the Carabao Cup semi-final. I will show you how I manage my team during the games and what I do to get the best result out of the games that I play. Also, in this episode we sign a very big player and I show you the insane squad that we're currently working with, and if this squad can't win the Premier League for the couple of 4 or 5 seasons, then I don't know anymore, because this squad is absolutely insane. Before anything else, I wanted to show you this. We are planning to upgrade the capacity of our stadium to 84,000. That's insane. That's an insane amount. That's so good. If we also go to club info and then go to history, no facilities, you see we currently have a 75,000 all-seater, and with this we get 10,000 more people in Old Trafford, which is absolutely insane. 85,000 people. I hope after that we can still improve it, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, just wanted to show you. Either we're gonna jump into another clip in a bit, or we are jumping to the beginning of the January transfer window. In the previous episode we left off at the 3-0 victory over Norwich. After that we had only but victories, and very nice victories in the Premier League. As you can see, 5-1 against Liverpool, 6-1 against Aston Villa. We had an 8-2 victory over Arsenal, a 7-2 over Man City, while we're scoring a lot and we're doing really good. In the Champions League, however, I've been playing a backup side because I need some rotation and I really want to win the Championship, the Premier League this year. So you can see we do have 2 losses against Paris Saint-Germain and against Porto, which is unfortunate, but nothing really major. As well as wins in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, so we made it pretty far, and in the FA Cup, where we played in the 4th round. We're shortly playing in the 3rd round, where we'll be taking on Aston Villa, and let me show you where we're standing with all of that. So of course we didn't lose in the Premier League, so we're still in first, 11 points clear of 2nd Newcastle, so we're doing very good. Can't really wait. I think it's too early to say that we're champions, but if we can just keep on this form, we should definitely win the Premier League. And let me just show you one thing. Sesko has scored 32 games in I think 18 matches, 19 matches, 32 goals. Isn't that just absolutely insane for a striker? He's even outscoring Haaland, and he's actually been crowned the best player in the world, which is very nice to see. As for the Champions League, we are currently in 8th, but the 2 matches that we still have to play are against Ajax and Slavia Prague. So I take it we win those, which will give us up to 18 points, and that will probably mean that we make it through to the next round without having to play an extra round, which would be nice. Then in the Carabao Cup we have been matched against Nottingham Forest for 2 games, so if we just win those again. In the Carabao Cup, always playing a backup squad, but we're also doing well. And in the English FA Cup, we have been matched against Aston Villa, which is also fine by me. We should be able to take them on, although they are still a Premier League side. As for the transfers out, I can already show you that 2 players have left the club. Ademola Moreno, a backup defensive midfielder, left the club for Al Arabi. He didn't really play a lot for us. He was a backup nonetheless. 10.5 million, sold him for 12.7, so made a nice little profit on him. And then a big sale, Garnacho. I didn't really need him anymore. This guy is good, but just not good enough. Sold him to Paris for 50 million, where he's earning almost 400,000k a week, which is insane. He didn't really get a lot of playing time for us, wanted to get him on, moved him on, was alright with me. This guy, we made a nice little profit on him, which means that now we have 145 million to spend, which means we can buy a big player. But I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do that, because I think the team, how it's looking right now, is good. Maybe I will bring in a world-class player to be on the bench, but I'm not sure yet. Anyway, I will look if there's anyone available for us to buy and see if they're worth it to get in. Otherwise, I will see if I can find some more of those very insane wonder kids. Anyway, for now, I'll be simming to the end of the January transfer window, and I'll be showing you the business that we did and how our last 2 games in the UEFA Champions League were, and of course if we made it through to the final of the Carabao Cup. So I'll be back to you at the 3rd of February. Hey, before we swim through, I want to ask you if you could leave a like, it really helps me out, and subscribe down below if you want to see more. If you also want to make choices based on data, go ahead and watch the video in the description. In that video I explain perfectly how you can play with Excel and Football Manager to sign the perfect players for your team. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump straight into the end of the January transfer window. The January transfer window has concluded once again, and as you can see, we had to play a lot of games and we won all of the games. You already saw last episode that we drew against Tottenham. We then beat Aston Villa 1-0 in the FA third round, and then also beat Liverpool 1-0 in the fourth round, which means that right now we are in the fifth round against Newcastle. And as you can see, we could have drawn any other easier team, but we draw Newcastle, who are currently second in the Premier League. So bit unlucky there, but we should be able to beat them anyway. Also, in the Champions League, we did beat Slavia Prague and Ajax with a backup squad, so very happy to see. And as you can see, the attendance here is 75,000, and in half a year it will be 85,000. So we have 10,000 more places. That would be very nice. Then also in the Premier League, we won against Norwich, Chelsea, and Aston Villa, which now means we are still first in the league with a 10 points cushion, and we are actually playing Newcastle United on the 5th. So if we win that game, I think it's going to be pretty sure that we win the league. We haven't lost yet this season. We've only drawn 3 times, and actually against teams where you don't really expect it from, but the chances are very likely that we will win the Premier League this season, and I'm not going to jinx it any further. In the Champions League, we did lose 2 games, as you saw in the previous episodes. However, right now we won the last 2 games, which means that we ended on 18 points, and 18 points was enough for automatic qualification, so we don't have to play an extra round, which will be very nice. That means that we have a less busy schedule, but of course, since we're still in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, it's kind of a busy schedule. For the Carabao Cup, we are going to be playing Nottingham Forest, and I wanted to take you with me on that match to see what I do and how I manage the team. And other than that, I am going to show you what kind of transfers we made in this January transfer window. Not a lot happened, but some noteworthy sales and players in, which I think you might find interesting. So to the right here, you'll see a couple of loans. Mainly loans, and the biggest loan of them all is Mark Bernal. He was a backup center back for us, and whenever he played pretty well, and I wanted to see this guy develop, but I decided to loan him out because we brought someone else in. So on deadline day he left to Benfica, where he's hopefully going to be playing a lot and get some more match experience on a higher level. And then we sold Kobe Mainu. I think it's one of the last players that are actually at Manchester United when you start the game. But Kobe Mainu, we didn't really play him a lot. He came from the youth academy, 12.5 million to Al Weda in Saudi Arabian League. Well, they're actually not in a division, so I'm not sure if they play in the Saudi Professional League. Oh, I just can't click it. Okay, so went to Saudi Arabia, all fine by me. And also Danny Lawson. I think one of our first wonder kids that we've sold. This guy wasn't going to get anywhere. Professional mentality, but his potential is just not high enough, so managed to sell him on to Pantedope, aka Napoli, for 6 million, which is more than fine by me. So very happy that they left. And then also who we brought in, not really anything noteworthy. What I did bring in is a backup goalkeeper for it's a lot of money, 22 million, but I think this guy can get a lot better than actually shown here on the report, because it's only a 3.5 star. However, this guy has it all, and he's already better or the same than Dean Henderson, so I'm very happy to see what this guy can bring. And then we've also got Andreas Cerda, another wonder kid, which I immediately loaned out to Crystal Palace. This guy is a right back, and I think with the proper training he could become a very nice starting player for us, or even a backup on that right or left or middle side. So let's see what kind of playing time he can get at Crystal Palace in the Championship. And then the biggest signing of them all, Nico Slotterbeck, a player which I already wanted like 4 or 5 years, but all the time his release clause was very high, so I managed to not buy him anytime because I was like, no, that's too much, I don't want to pay that, and then eventually I pulled the trigger and paid 87 million for him, and this guy is an immediate starter for our team and is a very good player, I do hope. He's on very high wages, 350k, I think he's the second highest paid player, but as you can see in the Bundesliga he always did perfectly, always above a 7.15, so that's a very good. I hope this guy can bring a lot of more quality to our team and will help us take that Premier League title. Then what I wanted to show you is what we're paying our players currently. So I've given a lot of players new contracts. Jamal Musiala, I'm trying to give him a new contract, but he hasn't really accepted it yet. Or we couldn't really figure it out, but I want to renew his contract most definitely. And as you can see, he's earning a lot. A lot of players are above 200k. And I think they all deserve it, except for maybe Limer and Kvarskelia, because they don't really turn up. But that means with all those expensive contracts and all those youngsters coming in on high contracts that we do have the highest wage we ever had. But now it's a bit more justifiable because we are also playing at a higher level. We are challenging for the Premier League title. We are winning the Champions League. So paying that extra amount of money we really need. And then if you go ahead and check the squad, you can see that all of the players that we're playing are 3.5 stars or higher. This is the starting squad right now, and like all my attacking players are 4.5 stars or higher, which is insane to see and very nice, which means that they're all very close together. And if they're all very close together to Jamal Musiala, it must mean that all of my players have like potential or a current ability of 170 or higher, which is very good and nice to see for these players. So I'm very happy with this squad. I don't think anything can go wrong. The Champions League might still be a struggle because of course you have the knockouts, but I think the Premier League will be a walk in the park. Anyway, I was planning on taking you on to the game, and I might still do that, but I will just put the game on higher speed so you just see the highlights and you see whatever I do whenever I do it. Alright, and here we are. Let's jump straight into the game. So what I usually do for the Carabao Cup is I have a backup team ready. So I have my main squad here, and what I do is I just drag in the players that are on the different spots so they can get some playing time. I always play them in the Carabao Cup because I don't really care too much about the Carabao Cup, and if I don't win it, then I don't win it. So what does that mean? My best players go on the bench, and then I usually just take like the players with me that I think can make a difference if we aren't winning. But of course the first leg we already won 5-2, so I'm just going to put other players in. I would put Dean Henderson or Thomas in, but I don't really care if Dean Henderson doesn't get any playing time, and Adrian Thomas can't because he has already played for a different club in the competition. So let's submit team. Yes, go to the match. It will load up. Dressing room, and I usually just go point fingers and just click whatever my assistant tells me to. Go to match preview, and then it just goes in. We click kickoff, and what I usually do is I start on attacking, and of course usually I have this a bit different and I follow the game a lot closer, but because you guys are, because I'm showing this on video, I don't really want it to be dragged out too long. Attacking with this formation doesn't always work too well. What I usually do when I'm playing, wait, we have a highlight here. Parco to Bargy to Dewsbury to Gonzalez the wonder kid, points it in, very nice goal. What I usually do when I'm playing against the better opponent is I start on positive, and what I will do now when I'm ahead 1-0, I will also continue on positive, because it takes a lot more effort, a lot less effort from your players, and they don't do that much crazy stuff. And when I'm playing away from big teams, I'd rather play positive than attacking, because if you play positive, then you can also go for a tie or maybe a small win, and I don't need big wins, or I don't need to take risks. I just want that simple tie, because if I beat them at home on attacking, then that's more than enough. This tactic, however, does tell the players to go stuck in with challenges, so I get a lot of yellow cards. However, I think the rotation is very good. So what I do usually here is hands in pockets and either tell them to do well, but what I usually do is just tell them to not let the performance levels drop, and I always praise them like that. And I think this is going to be a nice little goal. Oh, Zari Emery actually with a goal, and Gonzalez once again with a assist. This guy is insane. Like it's a shame that I have Musiala on that position, but this guy could become very, very good with the minutes that he's playing right now and his stats. Oh, he's going to be insane for the future. Anyway, let's jump back to the game, and always just praise them. When you're not ahead, don't praise them. When you're ahead, tell them to demand more. And here comes Limer. This is usually how we score goals. We just go in, and we have so many people in the 16 that it's almost impossible for them to mark them all. So that's how we usually score the goals. I must say, usually when I play Nottingham Forest, they get a goal back, 1 or 2, and it's going to be tight. But this time, not so much. And yeah, well, so what I usually do is I do shouts, praise, or encourage. And when I press encourage, it's whenever we're tied or down. And when I press praise, it's whenever we're winning, because that makes them happy. That's actually a very that's bad goalkeeping right there. That's good from Limer though. So yeah, still doing very good. And after the game, I still wanted to show you a little thing. I think I can do it now actually, because Sesko here. You thought he would stop scoring, but he scored 36 goals in 22 games, which means that he is currently the leading top scorer. And you might think, okay, that's going to be enough, but Erling Haaland is actually so close with 28 games, while Manchester United aren't even playing that well, and he has 28 goals. I mean, that's absolutely insane. I don't understand where this guy is coming from. Like, we're playing well, so you'd expect Sesko to get a lot of goals, but City is not playing well, and Erling still bags like 28 goals. So that's going to be actually very close for the golden shoe. But I hope my buddy can keep it up. Gonzalez with a nice free kick. Free kicks in this patch, they go in a lot more than they used to. Before they didn't go in as much, I really think. But anyway, that's going to be the match. It's a very comfortable 5-1 victory over Nottingham Forest, which is nice, which now means that we're in the final, and we're the final against Arsenal, so it's going to be a very hard game. But once again, I'm just playing the backups. So we'll see how it goes. If we don't win it, we don't win it. If we win it, it would be nice. Anyway, last clip will be the ending. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of Football Manager Manchester United Career Mode. Do leave a like if you've enjoyed, and subscribe down below if you want to see more. In the next episode, I'm going to be showing you how we did in this season and if we actually managed to win the Premier League. And I'm not gonna manifest it, but I think we will. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.